Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Corn here, and I have a thrift store haul today. You all haven't seen me do one of these for quite some time, and the reason being that when our weather is bad and there's snow and ice around, I usually do not go to the thrift stores. So I hadn't been for a while, and to be real honest, it's been 2 weeks since I went. I went to 2 different stores, but things have been so crazy. And you saw I posted other hauls, like when I did the Hobby Lobby one, it's so that if you all see something you'd like, that you'll know this week, the sales that are on. The thing is, with thrift stores, they aren't as popular a haul because, as you know, even if you see something and you're like, oh my goodness, that is so precious, but probably couldn't get it at your thrift store, It just all depends on who donates what and everything. And I did want to come on, though, because some of you do get a kick out of it. Some of you love vintage things like I do. And so I thought I'd show you what I got. One of the stores I go to, they give me a 10% discount whenever I walk in the door because I'm 64. So those you'll see price tags on. Then the other one will only give me a discount one day a week, or sometimes they have stuff on clearance. So it's gonna kind of be mixed up. I kind of put everything out so that I could be as organized as possible. First off, I'm going to show you, since I have them out already, these teeny tiny little baskets. You know I love little miniature everything. I don't have a miniature dollhouse or anything like that, but just tiny little things I really like. So does Toby. Toby even likes tiny food. Yes, when I used to make her pancakes when she was still at home. Yes, I'm not joking. Her stack of pancakes were this tall because they were this big. And they were fun for her. And not just when she was teeny tiny either. She just loves tiny food. I don't think she'll be upset with me telling that because it's such a sweet thing. So I'm going to show you some of the books I found, and when it comes to certain books at this one store, you can get children's books for 50 cents and then adult books for $1, depending on if they're hardback, they're $1. If they're soft cover, they're 50 cents. So this is, you all know Mary Bear Worthy and her drawings, I think. This still has, isn't this dark? This still has its little cover on it. It says how to have a most perfect day. Isn't that precious? And this originally was $4.95. I love that the edges, you can see the age in them. In fact, this is from 97. Oops. Didn't want to, I've never opened the first page. Okay. Alrighty. And it's just sweet, Mary, just signs of Mary. Just darling little bears. And I might leave it alone, or I might do something with it. I think this would be such a precious pocket letter. Don't you think? Just see how darling. Love the tea. Sitting down to tea. Just super cute. Oh, what is this one? Oh, they're at a matinee. Oh, how cute. And then you need a nap, Oh, my stars. They're having dinner with friends. Just precious. Darling book. And then this one is illustrated by Becky Kelly. And this is little birthday wishes, and again, even a bow on the hardback cover. And you'll see just how adorable her illustrations are. If I do make something out of these, remember, I will not sell it. It is just gifted to someone. And one of these pictures that I think is adorable, of course, is the bunny and the raccoons. And let's see, I have to get it close. Remember, my eyesight's not so good. And chipmunks. But see how precious her illustrations are. They're just adorable. And if I go on and on, this poor video will take too long. But I do think, did I see a frog for Haley Southern Belle? No. I saw a fairy. I don't do fairies a lot, to be honest. I think they're darling and pretty, but I don't have any fairies at the house. I don't think I have anything to craft that's fairies either. Maybe a charm or two. Yeah, I think I'd have some charms. But isn't that darling? And of course, the Velveteen Rabbit I found, the little golden book. Tickled pink to find this because, yes, it's a rabbit. And I can say it like that now. I talked to Handsome, and Handsome said, I was just joking. I love the way you say bunny rabbit. So, and how darling is everybody back here. And you all probably remember this from when you were little, but I'll just thumb through real quick. Darling, darling. And last but not least, I found, let me put these up here, get them out of the way. I found For Goodness Taste. And this was put up by the Junior League of Rochester. Oh, look at this. Again, I like the illustrations. I mean, wait till you see how gorgeous. And then Tea for 22. How cute is that? But look, just lilacs and cookies and tea, you know? To me, that's kind of what heaven's like. And my loved ones, many of my loved ones, having tea together. But these illustrations, look at them. Either incorporate them in my recipe book, or just, I'm going to have to see, because remember, I'm gluten-free, lactose-free, all that stuff, so I'd have to really study the recipes. And I think this looks older, so I doubt very seriously if they have a lot that I could enjoy. Like just their pasta. Pasta has to be gluten-free for me, and it's not the same, y'all. It's usually made with rice flour and remember, we're vegetarians too, so I can't do the chicken. So that's why I'm saying I really like the illustrations. Handsome still does seafood. I don't do anything with the face, but he'll still eat seafood. Look at that. Oh, yum. I think that's it, y'all. But I thought it had fantastic illustrations. I also found some more seam binding, and they also had some rickrack. These were all 25 cents, but remember, I get 10% off of that. And look how old. And I do save, let's see, I do save these covers because they're old and wonderful in a project. I did a project for Dolly, and I used them, and I really enjoy that. And some of them, as you see, this still has the packaging, so they're all wrinkled and crinkled, and I think that makes it nicer. They are 100% rayon. At the time, they were 19 cents. And what I do, I brought this in to show y'all. I mentioned it before. You can get these at Dollar Tree. And what I do is I just open this baby up, and I put all my seam binding in here from the thrift store and put it in with like my towels and stuff like that. And oh, they come out really, really nice. And if you like your rayon seam binding, you know, wrinkly, crinkly and stuff, you just bunch it up. Some of the old stuff won't bunch up that well, but some of them will. So I grabbed this one. This is the lace, and this one was 42 cents at the time. Here's some more of your rayon. Another one of these. This one looks newer. This is the navy lace. That's a newer picture at least. And these, I've got quite a few of these with this gentleman's face on them. Love this one, my favorite color of it. Love it. And look at the paper on this one, the rickrack. Love that one. With the dress form and then this huge needle. How cute is that? 3 yards for 10 cents, y'all. Quite a bit of the turquoise. And then this one. I also was able to find some lace, and this one ended up being $1.50. I should have cut this open for y'all, but remember under my, either make lace flowers alone with this or under my fabric flowers, I found some ribbon flowers. Some of these are silk, which I won't use. I'll redonate, but the ribbon ones will be washed also. Then I found this darling little hand embroidered doily. I found this hand crocheted one. This is more for me, I think, either on a vintage look or a more fall and autumn project. Remember, I use these on top of my embellishment boxes. Here's another one. They wanted 75 cents for that one. Look how that needle had to be so tiny. Ooh. This one is very lacy looking, very open weave for, I paid 90 cents for that one. Here is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but here's a lovely lady sitting down by a fence. Thought that was cool. That'd be cool, I think, on the cover of a book or journal. And then this one, if I can do it right, I don't always succeed in cutting these apart. I don't think I can, but we'll see. I try. And using them separate, they wanted $1.50 on that one with my 10% off. And I also got this one, which I love the colors that they did. I thought that was gorgeous. And $1.90 on that. And then I also found some lace. These were at Walmart at one time, as you see. Yours truly, the 100% cotton, your little appliques and bears, which I thought were darling. I want to do something for a friend of mine in the future with these, which I hope I remember I have them because I have a place that I put all my appliques in. And then this beautiful, sweet little heart. Isn't that darling? Okay, just darling. And they wanted 75 cents each. They didn't go down too far, and 10% off of that. So where I got the books, I went and the little baskets. I also found something else, and I was just looking, didn't have hardly anything in my cart, just having a good time looking at all the wonderful vintage items. And I turned a corner, and I saw a display that made me gasp. I'm serious. I looked and I went, oh, out loud. And you know how some people look at you like, what's her problem? And even when the woman checked me out, I was saying, I can't believe you all have these. I'm just so excited. And she was like, okay, I'm ready. Well, if you are a person who loves Scotty dogs because you have had one in your life, not necessarily owned one, but had one in your life somehow, maybe a relative had one, maybe a store owner had one, and we had that's what we had, a store owner of a lovely store that had a little bit of everything, country store, and vintage stuff in there too, and some antiques. Well, this little darling girl would stay in the window, and when Toby or myself or Handsome would go near her, she'd let us love her. She'd walk over to us, let us love her and kiss her head, and oh boy did she feel good. And just kiss her and hold her and love her, and then she'd go back. I mean, we wouldn't pick her up out of respect. And then she'd just go back in her little section that she enjoyed. But I mean, super, super sweet. So whenever I see a Scotty, which is a relative of a Cairn Terrier, because we had a Cairn for over 14 years. And whenever I see a Scotty, I think of that darling girl. And so this applique is actually fuzzy and has the little embroidered eye. And they wanted 59 cents for that. Then they had this one, 59 cents for this also. This is very silky with the machine embroidered bow and red. And yes, our darling girl, her name was Lucy, our darling girl was put in plaids and red a lot herself. This is hand painted. They wanted 59 cents for this also. Then this one, okay, let me get it right. This one has, if I set it down, I think that might help. Let me do this. This one has, yes, the plaid bow, the sequins everywhere. They wanted first they wanted $2.50 for it, then they put it down to 99 cents. All these sequins, they were still in their packages, by the way. I take them out to get air to them and get them cleaned up. This one also has the baby. And I don't know if I'm keeping the leash on it, and also a leash, but nothing but sequins everywhere. Then we have a pot holder. And they wanted, I think they wanted, 59 cents for this as well. This I'm going to put on one of my bears. Yes, a little teeny tie with baby Scotties all over. And they're plaid. Oh my goodness, and this does have a Velcro closure. Oh, wait till y'all see. Just wait till y'all see. A mini quilt with Scotties and hearts and the bandana. And look, they actually did, they ripped the cotton and did the bow and then put a star there. I mean, how precious is this? Love it. And last but not least, y'all, they also have this, which is, I know I'm awful close. Let's see if I can get away. It's a purse, y'all. It's a purse that still has, it was never used. It came from JCPenney because it's St. John's Bay. And then it tells you that your tote features all these goodies in it. They did do some beading, but I don't know if I'm going to change things a little bit or not. And one of the things, I got this, they had this at a certain price and then they lowered it because it wasn't selling. By the time I got in there, it was $5.99. And what they do sometimes is they'll put a piece of paper, like they'll look it up on eBay, and this was selling for $44 at the time. and $5.99 I got it for. They do have sequins around here, which I'll definitely leave. And the little collar, yes, that has some bling on it. And then evidently, because see, all of these are still in. This is Velcroed on there. This is Velcro, but also has, you know, the it's attached. And then I put inside of the purse for 29 cents, then this teeny tiny applique. Just so sweet. So sweet. And, you know, like I said, whenever I see this, when I use it, I'm probably wait because of the colors. I think you can use these colors anytime you want, but I have a tendency to use them at fall. But every time I see this, and my family sees this, they'll think of baby Lucy. Bless her heart. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody.